Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI. Today, we're going to be analyzing a really interesting strategic move by Meta in the wearables market, drawing on reporting and analysis from March of 2026. So, let's start with the core idea of our analysis today. It's this. For smart glasses to really break through to the mainstream, the most important innovation isn't necessarily more processing power or new AI features. No, the real key is solving a much more fundamental problem: the need for vision correction. And what brought all of this into focus? Well, it was a March 28, 2026 report in Bloomberg by Alex Chen titled Meta's Next-Gen Ray-Bans Target Prescription Wearers. It revealed that Meta is getting ready to launch new AI-powered Ray-Bans, but this is far more than just a simple product refresh. It really signals a major strategic shift. Now, the report indicates the new models are called Scriber and Blazer. And the most critical feature is that they've been designed from the ground up specifically for prescription lenses. But what's really telling here is the distribution strategy. By planning to sell these through traditional eyewear channels, Meta is making a statement that this isn't just another tech gadget. It's being positioned as both essential medical equipment and a fashion accessory. This really gets us to the core of the strategy. Why this very targeted push into the prescription market, and why now? You'll see this is a highly calculated move, not just a simple extension of their product line. So let's unpack that. To really understand the depth of what Meta's doing, you have to look at the market they're trying to unlock. And it's a market that, for the most part, has been completely left out of the smart wearables discussion until now. That market is huge. This number, 164 million, represents the number of Americans who need corrective eyewear. For this entire demographic, using non-prescription smart glasses has always meant making an impossible choice: see the world clearly or use the device. For daily use, that's simply a non-starter. As analyst Turki Alamati so clearly states, this strategy isn't about adding a new feature. It's about removing the single biggest barrier to mass adoption. For tens of millions of people, smart glasses have been a curiosity, a novelty. This move is designed to turn them into a necessity by integrating the technology into something they already have to wear every single day. Another analyst, Linda Sui, has a great term for this: the intersection strategy. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it. Smart glasses are unique. They aren't just a piece of tech like your smartphone. And they're not just a fashion item like a designer watch. They sit right at the three-way intersection of technology, fashion, and medical need. To truly succeed at scale, a company has to master all three, and moving into optical retail is the key to unlocking those medical and mainstream fashion channels. So with that strategy in mind, how does this move position Meta against its biggest rivals? To understand that, let's take a quick look at the current competitive landscape and see how this builds on a lead that Meta has already established. According to market data, Meta has already shipped over 2 million units of its Ray-Ban Meta glasses since 2023. That has given them a very significant head start in the consumer space. They've built brand recognition and a user base that their main competitors just haven't been able to match in this specific product category. And this table really clarifies the diverging strategies in the market. You can see Meta is playing a volume game. They're targeting the everyday consumer with an accessible price point, aiming for daily wear. Apple, by contrast, is aiming for the prosumer and developer with its high-end Vision Pro. And Google has really focused its efforts on niche enterprise uses. So right now, Meta is the only player really making an aggressive push for mass-market, daily-use smart glasses. However, it's not all smooth sailing. Meta's ambitions are facing a pretty significant and complex hurdle. And it's not coming from a competitor, but from regulators, specifically over in the European Union. As analyst Harleen Kawarbawa puts it, the timing here really is quite awkward. Just as Meta is getting the green light to expand its product line in the United States, its more advanced models appear to be hitting a regulatory wall in Europe. And here's that contrast laid out. In the US market, the FCC has approved the new models, which clears the way for their launch. But in the EU, the version of the glasses that has an integrated display is blocked. And the reason for this is a sweeping new regulation that has to do with battery design. So here's the crucial issue. By 2027, the EU is mandating that electronic devices must have user-removable batteries. Now, the goal here is a good one. It's meant to make repairs easier and reduce e-waste. But for a device like smart glasses, where designers are fighting for every single millimeter and every gram of weight, integrating a removable battery is a massive engineering challenge. It could seriously compromise the device's size, its weight, its entire aesthetic, and that forces Meta into a very difficult choice. All of this leaves us at a really fascinating crossroads. On one hand, Meta seems to have identified the absolute key to unlocking the mass market. But on the other, one of its major international markets might be closed off to its most advanced products because of a forward-looking but maybe restrictive regulation. And so we are left to think about this question. Is this strategic push into prescription eyewear the tipping point that finally turns smart glasses into a daily necessity? Or is this situation in the EU a preview of the future? A future where hardware innovation will constantly be colliding with regulatory frameworks that were designed for a totally different class of electronics? The answer to that will probably define the next decade of wearable tech. Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please use the QR code you saw at the beginning to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. We also recommend that you subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Finally, please take a moment to like, comment, and share. It really does help us reach a wider audience. Thank you again.